Kissing co-stars is just another day at the office for Blake Lively. From minty-fresh makeouts to her real-life husband's review of their on-screen smooch, here's what's been said about Lively's kisses. Penn Badgley knows a thing or two about kissing Blake Lively. Not only did he do it on screen for 6 seasons from 2007 to 2012 as Dan Humphrey, the on-and-off-again paramour to Lively's socialite Serena van der Woodsen, but the pair also dated in real life from 2007 to 2010.
I've waited my entire adolescent life for a date with this girl, and I decided to close the evening with a wave.
During a 2015 appearance on Watch What Happens Live, a fan called in to ask Badgley about his best and worst on-screen kisses, and he was pretty blunt.
I'll say it was Blake because we actually had a relationship at the time.
Right.
And then the worst, maybe Blake after we broke up.
Serena and Dan end up getting married during the last moments of Gossip Girl's series finale, but the two didn't end up together in real life. Still, Badgley looks back fondly on their time together. As he told Variety in 2023, he thinks their relationship stopped him from indulging in dangerous vices as a young star, saying, "To be honest, I never struggled with substance. Blake didn't drink, and I think our relationship in some ways saved me from forcing myself to go down that road." In the 2018 film A Simple Favor, Lively stepped into a sky-high pair of Christian Louboutin heels, several pairs actually, to play Emily Nelson, a working mom living in a sleepy suburban town who attracts the attention of mommy blogger Stephanie Smothers, played by Anna Kendrick. While their sons play together, Emily and Stephanie spend time in each other's company and throw back a lot of stiff drinks in the process.
Your drink? I need a martini.
Yeah, I like martinis. I haven't had one in a long time.
On one gin-soaked afternoon, Emily and Stephanie kiss. And as Kendrick told Pride Source in 2018, she felt the scene set some sort of record, saying, "I mean, all I'm ever thinking about in kissing scenes is who has gum, who has a mint. And I think Blake is probably the same because I've never experienced a guy searching for gum. So we were the mintiest, freshest two people to have ever kissed in the history of America." As it happens, Anna Kendrick wasn't the only person who kissed Lively while filming A Simple Favor. When Kendrick's character Stephanie first visits Emily's house, she also meets Emily's dashing husband, Sean Townsend, played by Crazy Rich Asian star Henry Golding. Sean and Emily have a pretty clear physical connection right off the bat, making Stephanie visibly uncomfortable when the two kiss passionately in front of her.
He is a dedicated husband and father, and I have seen him with his wife. Let me tell you, they've got more chemistry than a science fair.
When Emily disappears partway through the film, Sean and Stephanie strike up a relationship under the assumption that Emily is dead. So what did Golding think of kissing both Lively and Kendrick? As he told Grazia magazine, "For me, going into it, it was really a joy not only because I get to make out with Blake and Anna, but because there was no nervousness. It was really art that we were trying to portray and make a beautiful film." Not only that, but Golding said that when he and Lively first met, he was starstruck. So she suggested that he join her in her car and read their script together. He recalled, "It was just like we had known each other for years. It's that comfort and familiarity that Blake gives everybody. You could be a stranger and Blake sets you at ease. There's that joy in meeting Blake." Lively's 2015 romantic drama, The Age of Adeline, is definitely one of her stranger movies, but there's also a lot of kissing in it. Lively plays Adeline, a woman who, after a car accident and a lightning strike in 1937, simply stopped aging.
Ma'am, it says here you were born in 1908. That makes you 45 years old.
That's right.
Though she largely keeps to herself for fear of anyone realizing that she's seemingly immortal, Adeline ultimately strikes up a romantic connection with handsome philanthropist Ellis Jones, played by Michiel Huisman. One problem, though, is the fact that when Adeline meets Ellis's parents, she realizes she once had a relationship with his father. So how did Huisman feel about working with Lively? He told AOL Build, "When you're doing a romantic movie like The Age of Adeline, I feel that it's very important that there's some sort of, whatever you want to call it, chemistry or something, between the two characters that are falling in love with each other. I don't think that's something you can really create." Asked about a moment he loved shooting, Huisman pointed to one particular scene.
Tell me something I can hold on to forever and never let go.
Clearly, Huisman had a perfectly good time kissing Lively on screen. Everyone knows Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, who got married in 2012, are an iconic Hollywood couple. But they would probably prefer that everyone forget they both appeared in Green Lantern in 2011 and kissed. In a 2011 Facebook video from Channel 5, Reynolds is asked to rate his on-set kiss with Lively on a scale from 1 to 10.
I'd give it at least at 8.5.
8.5?
On the Smart Less podcast in 2021, however, Reynolds was singing a very different tune when he spoke to hosts Sean Hayes, Jason Bateman, and Will Arnett. After explaining that they became friends but were dating other people while filming Green Lantern, Reynolds revealed that he was so into Lively that he put everything on the line, saying, "Next thing you know, she was going to Boston and I was going to Boston. So we got on a train and rode together. And then, I was just begging her to sleep with me. A week later, I was like, we should buy a house together, and we did." So what does Reynolds think of his wife kissing other co-stars on screen? He's okay with it. After all, he understands the demands of the job. In an interview with Elle, he said, "I don't mind that as much. I don't mean that in a creepy way. What people don't realize is there are 50 or 60 tired, hungry, overworked crew members standing directly behind them." That's a good perspective to have. And by all appearances, Lively and Reynolds, along with their 4 daughters, are living out their best lives together off screen.